How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store's summer sale has officially kicked off, and this will be a 4-week sale. Now, the sale's absolutely massive. If you count all of the deals, there's north of 4,000 deals. I have it filtered through the full game bundles and premium editions we usually do, and that still has about 3,300 deals. That's an insane number of deals, and not only that, because this is a 4-week sale, there are going to be games that are rotating out. So come August the 1st, I believe it is, there are games that will be leaving the sale and new deals will be coming in. Just keep that in mind. I wish Sony would do a better job of letting you know as far as which games are going to be rotated out. Like Elden Ring, for example, one of the big games on sale, will be rotating out on August the 1st. It won't be available until August 14th, and August 14th is the date that they have promoted on all their banners as far as ending August the 14th, but, you know, it is what it is. Like, these are the minor complaints that I'll keep complaining about until Sony does something, and I assume eventually they will do it. Like, it would be good that if they had a tab for a sale like this, like the ending soon tab, or the ending in whatever, ending first, rotating out, whatever they want to call it, but nevertheless, this is a massive, massive sale with a lot of deals to go over, so let's just get right into it. There's a lot of stuff, and right off the top, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Cross-Gen Bundle. I know you guys have been itching to check out MW3. Well, it is 45% off for $38.49. It is the Call of Duty game that I think a lot of people skipped out on. It was, you know, more of an expansion to MW2 than anything, so kind of a bummer there, but it is what it is. Remember back in the day when the Call of Duty games literally had the cachet to not go on sale for a year? I guess the game has changed a little bit where they are making so much additional revenue off monetizing the game, you know, microtransactions and everything like that, that, you know, selling the base game at a discount really isn't a big deal. Elden Ring is 30% off for $42. I mean, it's a FromSoft title. It's received as one of the best video games literally of all time. I truly do believe this game is going to hold up its price for quite a while. If you're trying to pick up the Shadow of the Erdtree edition, like, I don't think you're going to find that at a discount for literally probably 6 months to 9 months, around that range. Maybe in the holiday sale, you'll get like a 20% off discount, and the Shadow of the Erdtree edition will be like $56 instead of 70 or 80 or whatever it is. It would be, it's 80 base, so let's say 20% off, it would be $64. So there you go with that. Hogwarts Legacy on PS5, new low for this, down to $28. I've been pretty complimentary towards Hogwarts Legacy. Not a big Harry Potter fan myself, have nothing against it, just not, you know, super into it. But I really enjoyed the game from a gameplay standpoint. Thought the open world had a good amount of content, but it wasn't overwhelming, which I think a lot of open world games do. It was actually a criticism of some of my boys that played Hogwarts Legacy. They thought the game didn't have enough content, and I was like, you know, for an open world game, I thought Hogwarts Legacy was perfect for my liking, where I don't need 100 billion hours of content. I thought Hogwarts Legacy was contained enough for me to enjoy, but that's my opinion. But $28 for that, good deal for that. Next up, Red Dead Redemption 2 1979. I mean, you guys already know how I feel about that game. Literally one of the best games of all time. Tekken 8 is 43% off for $39.89. Really enjoyed my time with Tekken 8 as a casual fighting game fan. I thought that game had such slick presentation, an awesome soundtrack, and the campaign mode, while it's fairly short, it is such insanity that, you know, it's not enough to be the selling point for Tekken 8, but man, is it a chaotic experience, to say the least. Over the top, let's put it that way. It's great, so $39.89 for that is pretty good. UFC 5 still $38.49. I feel like that's kind of pricey. You know, there you go with that. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, $21. I mean, they are giving this game with Amazon Prime right now for free, quote unquote free. You have to have a Prime subscription, but that's kind of ridiculous to me in the sense that this game just came out 6 months ago. It was a disaster, a commercial failure, but if you assess this game in a vacuum, it's a perfectly, like, acceptable open world action title. If you take out the fact that it's Rocksteady, the studio that did Batman Arkham, if you take out the fact that it's a $70 game with baked in fake early access with microtransactions and everything like that, in a vacuum, if you just assess Suicide Squad, it's a suitable 5 out of 10 open world game. It's when you add the context of Rocksteady being washed and the microtransactions, $70 with fake early access. It's all of that always online, which they still haven't added an offline mode yet, which they were supposed to. At least I don't think they have. But yeah, just all of those elements really make me hate Suicide Squad more than as far as the quality of the game in a vacuum, if that makes sense. But still, don't be paying $21. This is a game that you pay Agents of Mayhem price, you know, $3 to $5. I think Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will be a fine experience, or when it gets added to PS Plus Extra, which I do see that happening, much like Gotham Knights. Sea of Thieves, 30% off for $28. FF7 Remake and Rebirth Twin Pack, $75 on that. I mean, it's not an awful deal, but they were giving away FF7 Remake Intergrade with FF7 Rebirth pre-orders, and now you're paying more just to get the bundle, so think about that for a second. But, you know, it's a fine pickup. Rebirth's fantastic. It's a lot of people's game of the year, but, yeah, I don't know if I'd be paying $75 for the bundle. Skull and Bones, 50% off for $34.99. I mean, another Ubisoft live service commercial disaster. You know, and to be fair, Ubisoft has hit on a lot of their live service projects. Like, X-Defiant was a hit, and, you know, 1 out of 5 games being a hit is actually pretty good. And I don't know Ubisoft's exact track record off the top of my head, but they've had enough hits to, you know, justify this shift in business model for them, so to speak. Resident Evil 4, 25% off for $29.99. I mean, this is the price point it was getting down to for, like, quite a while. Then they lowered the MSRP to $39.99 instead of $59.99, and the discount hasn't changed. It's just going 25% off instead of 50% off. It's a great game. It's absolutely a contender for Game of the Year from 2023. It was in my mix. It's fantastic. Just, you know, I would say at this point, try to pick up the Gold Edition on sale so you get the Separate Ways DLC. Mortal Kombat 1, 60% off for $28. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, 55% off for $31.49. I mean, I've talked about that game ad nauseum. You guys know how I feel about it. It's absolutely fantastic, and I highly, highly recommend it. Do play Jedi Fallen Order. Jedi Fallen Order is great as well, but Jedi Survivor did expand the game quite a bit. Unfortunately, from a performance standpoint, it does leave a lot to be desired. Crew Motorfest, $28 for the Cross-Gen Edition. Resident Evil Gold Edition, the bundle is 20% off for $39.99. Look, I would wait for that to get cheaper because you get separate ways with the Gold Edition, but Separate Ways is $9.99. You're not actually saving anything getting the Gold Edition outside of getting some superfluous, you know, in-game DLC content that is kind of irrelevant. You know, wait for the Gold Edition to be $25 to $30, and I think it's a great buy. Regardless, like, RE4 is fantastic. I'm just saying, you know, if you've waited this long, why not wait a little bit longer to get the most value possible? Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, 50% off for $35. I've said it before, but I would wait for that game to be $20, and I would wait for the Gold Edition, actually, to be around $20. The Ultimate Edition is $65, typically $130. So, you know, take that for what you will. That's Ubisoft's MO going forward with their AAA titles, so it's kind of to be expected. I did like elements of Frontiers of Pandora. I thought the visuals were great, thought the soundtrack was great. Not a big fan of Avatar, so that is going to make me probably have a lesser experience. But look at a game like Hogwarts Legacy. Love that game, have no interest in Harry Potter, and, you know, I would definitely rank that game above Avatar. Avatar is just like, yo, it's every open-world Ubisoft game that you've played with the Avatar coat of paint on it. And there's story-based DLC content. That's why I'm saying if you do want to play it, I would wait for the Gold Edition to see a more sizable discount. It Takes Two, $13.99. Alan Wake 2, 35% off for $39. You guys, last year, Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2 for a lot of people were 1A, 1B as far as Game of the Year, and both of those games were games that I definitely had a differing opinion with the general consensus. And you know what? That's fine, but I can still acknowledge that the general consensus is that Alan Wake 2 is awesome, Baldur's Gate 3 is awesome, so Alan Wake 2 being 35% off for $39, I would probably say go ahead and try it. Now, there is some narrative-based DLC. It is going to be getting a physical release here in the future, so keep that in mind. And there's a lot of things I liked about Alan Wake 2. The visuals were great, the voice acting was tremendous, the atmosphere was phenomenal. Again, there was a lot of great elements about Alan Wake 2. It's just not a game that grasped me as much as I thought it would, but I'm gonna give it another playthrough at some point when I don't have 8 million other games to play, which honestly speaking probably will be never, but I will give it another playthrough. Baldur's Gate 3 is another game that I will play again. And give it another shot. Red Dead Redemption 1 is 30% off for $35. Look, the price point is still wild. If this came out at like $30, it would have been great, and if it had 60 FPS right out the gate, would have been great. Unfortunately, that was not the case, but what can you do? RDR1 is a phenomenal game, however, and I would strongly recommend it. Just unfortunate that it's still that expensive, and unfortunate that Rockstar was so, you know, lazy with the a release on PS4. Like, I was about to say remaster, it ain't a remaster. At least it has 60 FPS now, which is quite nice. Street Fighter 6 is $30, which is great. Dead Island 2, $35. Still way too expensive because that's a game you definitely want to get the gold edition of because there's very important narrative-based DLC in that. Hitman World of Assassination, 60% off for $28. Look, I think it's awesome that they added a Conor McGregor assassination target. Conor's never gonna fight again, so, you know, him being in Hitman is like a cool way to still have Conor in the limelight, I guess. Who knows if he's ever gonna fight again? It's just, I don't know if that fight with Michael Chandler's ever gonna happen. Let's just put it that way. Next up, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, 50% off for $30. That's a game that, you know, is gonna hold up in price. It's a FromSoftware title. It's great, but, you know, you're gonna be paying a premium for it, so just keep that in mind. Resident Evil Village Gold Edition, 60% off for $19.99. It's Village with the DLC. It's fantastic. I would strongly recommend that. High on Life, still $30, kind of pricey with that. Now, the High on Life with the DLC bundle is $40. That's still kind of expensive, but, you know, if you want a shorter experience and a quirky one at that, High on Life's a pretty good time. Lies of P, 40% off for $36. Battlefield 2042, 85% off for $9. Pretty decent deal there with that game getting a lot of updates. Remnant 2 is still $25. Recently did get added to Plus Extra. No Man's Sky, 60% off for $24. That was getting down to $30 for a long time, but nice to see that hit a new low price, and they just revealed new updates coming into the game, and that's a game that's going to be perpetually updated for, like, Infinity and beyond. Not Infinity and beyond, but, like, for a long, long time. Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy is $30. Dead Space Remake is $24.49. Another Crab's Treasure, 20% off on that. RoboCop Rogue City, 50% off for $29.99. Nice to see that get a little cheaper. Hi-Fi Rush, $18. Obviously, phenomenal game. I highly recommend it. It is fantastic. Dying Light 2 Stay Human, the Reloaded Edition, 60% off for $24. I would like to see that get cheaper, but I will say the Reloaded Edition does include the Bloody Ties DLC, which is quite nice, so maybe from that standpoint it adds a little bit of value, and that'll be worthwhile to check out. Pacific Drive is $18. Pacific Drive is a game that I really wanted to enjoy, but I'm just not into survival games, but I love the atmosphere in that game. I just thought it was incredible in that regard, and, you know, it's just the survival aspects, just not my cup of tea, crafting and all that stuff. I just don't enjoy that style of gameplay, but for you guys that do, $18 for Pacific Drive is a pretty good buy. Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition, $53.24. I've talked about my opinion on how you should handle picking up Cyberpunk if you have not yet to. I would say wait until the fall and see if you can get a spicier deal on the Ultimate Edition, maybe physically, and that'll be a great pickup. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete is $12.49. Obviously, no-brainer. That deal is phenomenal. MGS Master Collection, 30% off for $42. Guys, it's so hard to recommend this from a digital standpoint, given that physically this collection's going on sale for $20. You're paying over double for a digital copy. Like, that's insane to me, and I would say, you know, go and pick up a physical copy unless you have a digital-only PS5 or you're just only buying digital games. Like, that price difference is kind of egregious. Armored Core 6, $42. Guilty Gear Strive is $19.99. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, $55.24 for the Deluxe Edition. Walking Dead Telltale Definitive, $20 on that. That's been cheaper, but it's still a good deal for all the content you get. Crisis Core, which just got added to Plus Extra, is $25. Not a bad price, all things considered, but I would say just play it in Plus Extra if you do have a Plus Extra subscription. But I did enjoy Crisis Core. At this stage of the game, though, I'd probably say try to wait for it to get cheaper. However, Square Enix games do generally hold up in price. When Dio Field Chronicle is still going for like $20, you know that Square Enix games hold up in price. Jedi Fallen Order is $9.99. Monster Hunter Rise on sale. Far Cry 6, Assassin's Creed, titles AC Odyssey. Sonic Superstars is $30. That's another game that physically you can get it for $20. Actually, as low as $18. So probably say try to get it, you know, physically. Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising for $30 is pretty decent. Deluxe Edition is on sale. Uncharted Legacy of Thieves, $20 on that is pretty good. Jujutsu Kaisen, that game's terrible, as I've said ad nauseum, but I gotta say it over and over again to really, you know, really signify how much I hate that game. Persona 5 Royal, $29.99 on that. Metro Saga is $9. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, $37.49, 25% off. I really wanted to like that game, and I do like it in certain regards. It is just so dated for a 2024 JRPG. Look, there's one thing about releasing a game. Love Letter to Classics can still have a modern interface, can still have UI elements that are catering to a modern audience, and just have quality of life features that cater to a modern audience. It's great in the elements that it shines at, but there's just a lot of archaic game design elements with 100 Heroes, which is unfortunate, and I would say, you know, pick it up at some point, $20 or less, maybe when it's a plus extra title. But that's page 7 of 138. I'll wrap up the video here. Check out the sale for yourself. A lot of stuff discounted, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.